Okay, so I've kind of been avoiding this for a little bit just because it's a little bit of a pain when you're in a rush. So I had on needle two, I think it was gold or something, when I was doing a big order and I wasn't paying attention, the thread completely ran out, which means that now needle two has no thread in it. So when you get these machines, obviously they come threaded and you just tie on and pull through. That's the easiest way to thread it. What do you do when you need to thread your machine? So let me show you. I'm going to put my red on the second position. You're going to need a couple of things to make this easier. So I got in my kit one of these in my toolbox. There's hair on it. One of these long wiry things with kind of a bent like hook, I guess, on the end. That you're going to use to pull your string through this tubey like thing. And then also a good pair of tweezers helps a lot, not necessary, but helps a lot. Okay, so those are basically all you need to thread your machine. So you're going to take it, go up through this first hole. Okay. And then you come through the second hole. At least on needle two, you've got two holes. Needle three, you'd have 1, 2, 3 to go through, and so on. Okay. All right, so we're at that stage. Now you're going to come through this little hole on the top of your spot with the screws. Okay. Okay, so, and I am very short, so I'm always on my tippy toes trying to do this. That's why I try not to let it get to the stage because it's kind of a pain, but it's doable. All right, so then I pick up this bit with the screw, this plate, and there you see inside there's like a little notch that it needs to come through. Okay, now we're at this tubey part. So you pop it off. At least this is the easiest way that I find to do it. It's kind of hard to pop off sometimes. Okay, so you take your long hook-like thing and you take your tube and you stick it up inside all the way through. Try not to go through the tubing like that, like that. Good. Mine's real bent from just being shoved into my toolbox and stuff. So, okay, so I'm just kind of like holding all of this. You hook your thread, hold the long end so that you don't lose it as you pull through. And then you just kind of pull it from the bottom. Try not to lose that in there. Okay, so there it is. I'm on the other side. Now I'm going to hook this back into place. And it brings you to the next step. And you can take this metal stick-like thing. We're all done with that. Okay, so next we're going to come, and looks like my needle next to it is got a loop there. We'll just pull it from the very bottom. You don't want to, okay. Anywho, then you're gonna, I push on this side, it kind of lifts that bar up, and you want to slip your thread underneath. Come on, there it goes. Okay. Now what you want to do is you've got another one of these plate things, and you want to go behind that plate again. And you can kind of look at how all the other ones, we're going to come this way around and come around to the left side of that notch on under that plate. Okay, so, okay, there. All right, now you come through where needle two, so you come under this hook, and then, let's see, I'll get you down a bit. Okay, oops. Now we're going to come around the left side of this hook. Okay, up, and you're going to go, oops, dropped. You're going to go clockwise. It's a lot easier when I'm not trying to record, I promise. Okay, clockwise around. 1, 2, and then go back around the left side of this hook again, and then under another one of these bars. Okay, now we'll get you down to the next portion. Okay, so now you want to slip it in on the right side of this hook all the way down, and this is where I like to use my tweezers. Okay, down in this, all this little finicky part. Okay, so we're gonna come to the right side of this, I don't know, it's kind of like double bars there. So you want to come down, use my tweezers, you're gonna come down the right side and then grab it underneath and go through this loop that's right under there. But when you come through that loop, you want to try to angle it so it's going right back up on the left side of these 2 bars. So I'm going through the loop and I'm angling it up. Oops. Try to hold it with my finger so I don't lose it. Grab it with my tweezers there. Okay. Now you're going to come straight up back through this plastic part on the right side of the hook again. You're going to go through that loop. And a lot of times, if you're not rethreading your entire machine, a lot of times when you have a thread break, it'll break and bounce up into this part. So this is definitely a part that you're probably going to rethread quite a bit. So keep some tweezers handy. Okay, now that we've come through the right side onto the left side, we're coming straight back down. And now there's a white plastic circle down here. And you're going to come straight down that. And then straight down to the purple circle next. And then you're going to thread your machine like you always do. Let me angle you down a bit. Okay. So this white thread got kind of pulled as I was finagling the red one. Okay. So now you're going to come through this purple hole, and then there's the hook on the top of the needle. You'll come around that and then thread it like usual. I'm going to cut my tip so that it's not frayed or anything while I try to go through. Let's see if I can move my light better. Not really. Okay. And then I just stick it up in the bar there, and that's it. My needle 2 is rethreaded. So I hope. All right, so I thought I'd also show you how you would go about changing your thread if you still have your machine threaded or you're just changing colors. So I have 3 on here that I already have tied. And then to add another color, place it in. And if you don't know how to tie a knot, I lick my finger, hold the 2 ends together, and then you twist them around your finger, and then you twist it off. And this one already had a knot. I decided to do something else, so there's like an extra knot there. That might cause a problem as I pull it through, but we'll see. I don't know. So just again, I just kind of like twist them a few times, twist around your finger, and twist off and pull. And you can give it a tug, make sure it's not going to go anywhere. See, that knot's a lot less of a profile there. So I may snip that and redo that because I'm worried that knot is going to get stuck. Okay. So I also do not have anything in my needle 12, so I'm going to have to re-thread that one the way that I showed you how I did needle 2. But anyways, so I have 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7 that I have tied off, and all you do is come around and gently pull them through. So I'll switch you around and show you that part. All right, so this is how I do it. I have 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 that I am going to pull through. 12 I'm going to have to redo. So I follow down to the bottom where it's needle 7, and I pull just about after that last step. Not the part that goes through the needle, but the part that goes through that circle. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'll throw a picture in there. And then you just gently pull. This is the one that has a crazy knot in it, so we'll see how it does. So far, just gently pull it, and then kind of I watch that knot to make sure everything's threaded correctly. The same way that we did needle 2 that I showed you, you just kind of watch its path as you're pulling. Now I can already see my needle 8 is not following the right path. It looks like after this hook, it's come around. It actually looks like it's wrapped around needle 7 little knob there before this turn. So even actually probably right now before I even pull it through, because I don't want it to mess up my needle 7, I'm going to pull out of what is going on here. Actually, it's on wrapped around needle 6, not even needle, don't know how that happened. Okay, so I'm just going to I'm going to grab my tweezers just so my fingers don't get in there and mess up. I don't want to really mess up needle 6. There we go. Came right off. Okay, so what it looks like happened is because it's still kind of got the twist here, it looks like it just kind of bounced off of there somehow. So I'm going to come, just like I did needle 2, we're going to do the same thing from this hook part. We're going to come around. Actually, I'm going to pull it all the way off of this wheel. Okay. All right, so now we're going to come back around that knob, up clockwise, 1, 2 on the left side of that knob, and then underneath this bar. Now I'm going to kind of just hold it here and pull from the bottom and see if I can't just guide it back into place. Okay, now I'm going to watch that knot as I pull it through to make sure it's following the correct path. So it's going around twice, down and up. Okay. All right, that looks good. Okay, and I just let these, especially if I'm doing multiple colors, I just kind of let them dangle, and then at the end I like snip them all at the same time. So number 9, same thing, pulling it. Okay, everything looks good on that one. 10. And actually what I'm getting ready to do is a tension test, which I don't normally do. I think I did it when I first bought my machine, but I wanted to show y'all how you do a tension test. So I figured I better have all of my needles threaded, because a lot of times I only use needles 1 through 6. Most of the designs I use are under 6 colors. And then needles 12, 11, 10, sometimes 9, sometimes 8 even, I think. I've had one hat, I think, that was like 4 or 5 colors, but most of my hats are 3 colors. So I always keep 12, 11, and 10 set up for hats. So the tension is higher, the needles are different. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to do another video on hats, probably coming up in the next month or 2. All right, so hold those all the way through, and I'm still going to have to go back and do needle 12, but I'll do that off camera. So I have all of these. I'll show you. I think I got to move you down. All right, so I have you down here. I've got these ones that I've just threaded. I just cut them all at once. Take all this that I just pulled off and throw it in the trash. And then I get down here and I rethread. So you go in behind that hook above the needle, and then through that eye of your needle. I sometimes I'll pull down so I can grab it. Okay, and then I go down through, oh, forgive me, I'm not sure what this is called. You know, the little bar-like hook thing after your needle. All right, so I come down and then I come straight up and tuck it into this wire bar thing. Sorry, I'm great with the technical terms, aren't I? Anyway, so I will do that follow suit for all of the rest of the needles. And as you might see, I'm not sure if you can see it, in here. I've got 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8 are like golden colored needles. Those are my titanium sharp needles. So those are the ones that I was saying, like I always have those ones kind of ready for hats. Sometimes if I have a design that does go into these sharp needles, I'm not gonna lie, I don't change the needles. I might change the tension, but it's just too much of a pain for me to change the needles every single time. And it's so rare that I have a design that goes beyond like the 6 colors, like I was saying. So, and sometimes even if I don't want to use a sharp needle, I might stop if it goes beyond the 6 or 7 colors. I may just put a stop in and then change out one of these colors and continue my design if I didn't want to use those. But you can do whatever you find works best. Maybe you don't do hats at all, so that's not something that you would be concerned about. But anyways, that's just explaining why I have needles that are different. And so I will try to link the tension test video in this video. If not, just go ahead and search. I'm hoping by the time I post this video, I've also got that one ready to go. Okay, so I hope that you found this video helpful on how to thread your BAi machine. Sorry, I don't know probably all the technical terms for all of the things that I was doing while I was threading it, but I hope it just helps show you and walk you through those steps. This is just the first of a few videos that I have planned for beginners, just quick videos to show you how to set up some things on your machine. So I hope that you find these helpful. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you're looking for to see in some videos in the future in this beginner series.